on, my Super Saiyan Witches? Rhymestyle here, and today I bring another SH Figuarts. Wow, that was so awkward to with my very little space to do my clap. Today I bring you another SH Figuarts unboxing, which I have not done in a while, mostly because, well, we haven't seen anything good come out in a solid minute. To kind of keep up with the releases, we have two major releases that came out in the past 2 months, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do them into one video. So first we got the re-release of the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza. So here's the back of it, which I'm gonna actually already got it out of the box, which I'll show you over in a second. Frieza Pop, which is actually re-release, wow, of the original figure that came out I want to say 2014. Here's the box from the front, and then the one I've been really excited about, Majin Vegeta. The very first LR that I've ever pulled, which we'll get to here in a second. This one I have not even opened yet because, well, I was waiting to review both together just because I feel like the Frieza wasn't that exciting just due to the fact that it is a re-release, but it is a beautiful looking figure. If the other figure wasn't so valuable, keep it in a box type of thing, I would actually pop it out of the box and kind of compare. But for the most part, it is pretty much the same mold, but it is higher quality. I don't know how to describe that. If you're ever collecting figures, you got your hands on like high quality figures, you know exactly what I mean. Like the original one that came out a couple years ago, the very first one, which is like 300 bucks now. Don't recommend buying that. Feels pretty frail, and it feels like a cheap figure that, you know, Tamashii and Figuarts used to put out. But this feels so much better. You know, I had to get him with the signature pose with Vegeta in the back. Let me actually pop Vegeta's brain out here real quickly so I can get him out of here so I can, you know, show off the figure. This is what I'm talking about. So the first feature you'll notice is the fact that he did get released with a halo to go with the whole resurrection thing. I guess they realized them re-releasing Frieza this late in the game wasn't as interesting, so to kind of hype it up to go along with what's going on in Super, they gave him the halo, and it really isn't. Is it enough of an incentive to get the figure? Yes and no. I say yes if you don't already have it, because like I said, it's a quality Frieza figure. But I say no because it's not really that exciting as far as what the original box got. So here's the back. It does come with the signature death beam, which you can see right there. We got the Frieza cross arm pose. And then here's a couple shots that they got, you know, from like Namek and stuff. So let's actually pop this out so you can see what you get inside it. Like I said, I already opened this. I got this, I want to say, about 2 weeks ago now. I bought it off of eBay. I think by the time you're watching this video, it should be available to purchase here in the US. But if not, eBay is always a good option for all these figures. This is everything you get inside it. So first and foremost, you get the crossed arms. You get the curled, freaky Frieza toes. I don't know why they decided to release this because I feel like it's kind of useless. I mean, I guess it's to kind of pose him with him kicking because this is basically like his kick pose. But I feel like this is kind of a useless feature to include without the rock. Now, if you guys remember the original Frieza figure, which I don't have to show you right now, I mean, I got the box, but it's all the way over there, which I'm not going to get. Came with the rock. Basically, it's the pose that you was standing on when he came back to life, or I guess when he survived the spirit bomb. He was like this, that. They kind of added that rock to recreate it, which is what this was kind of for. But I guess also it fits the kick pose, so that's probably why they included it. As far as faces, you got the "You bit my tail, Goku" face. You got the angry, I guess, death ball face that he makes when he throws a death ball. For fingers, you got the open hands, you got the death beam, and then you got the curled finger that he had when he came out and killed Krillin. Spoiler alert on Namek. And of course, as far as other accessories, which is really hard to show you, we got the death beam, and then you got another tail. Here's the death beam to show you guys a bit more up close. It definitely does a lot better. Does look like a lot better. Wow, tongue twister. Looks a lot better than the original one did. Oh yeah, but also by the way, you do also get the open hand palms as well as the fists. So it's a pretty solid figure for what it is, but like I said, it does kind of feel lacking for a re-release. I feel like they could have done something else with it. I don't know exactly what. Maybe I think what I would have done is I wouldn't have taken away from the original one. Maybe included some of the stuff that the original one came with. But at the same time, you also got to think about the collector value of the original one. One of the main reasons why they probably decided to not include the rock that he was standing on was just due to the fact that it's kind of like what makes Frieza's original figure the original figure. I guess the collector value of it. And as a collector, if I can preserve the cost of that, by all means, you know. But as far as everything else, it's pretty solid. I like the fact that they actually made the death ball look a lot better this time. The original one was kind of like, it didn't really look like a death ball. It looked more like a, I don't know how to describe it. It was just kind of like a long, weird pink stick. Weird to say, like I said. But as far as everything else, he's got a lot of good poses. I mean, Tamashii is known for going all out with their, what's it called? Accessibility to motion. Is that the word? No, articulation. Articulation is the word I'm thinking of. They can do everything, so you can get them in your favorite poses. I apologize that the camera angle is kind of bad, but again, This is more of a setup meant for card openings and not really figure reviews, and it's kind of hard to actually get myself set up to the point where I'm not like completely invading the space, but I'll do my best to kind of show off what you guys want to see. The tail moves, you do get both tails, which I find odd. Like, I feel like this, if anything, would have been the thing that would have included with the older figure and kind of kept it as an exclusive for that one as opposed to Rock. But at the same time, like I said, it is cool to get this tail so you can actually get the infamous pose of when he had Vegeta. Oh no! A headless Vegeta! Vegeta in the pose when he was beating him down on Namek, despite it being the wrong armor, but you get the point. The other tail you get is kind of like the neutral one, which is over here, and then to quickly pop it in there before I go on to the other Vegeta figure. This is what it looks like. It's pretty simple. I mean, I like it. For a Frieza figure, it's amazing. Like I said, it's probably probably the only Frieza figure that I actually really enjoy that I've seen come out. As far as the ones that have articulation. I mean, there's a bunch of statues out there that look beautiful, but as far as articulation, this is easily the best one. And of course, like I said, it comes with the death ball as well, which I really, really love. With that said, I highly recommend this one. I think the price for this is going around 40-50 bucks. Again, Tamashii Figuarts is usually pricey when it comes down to it, but again, for the price you're paying, you are getting some quality with it. So why not? Why not go for it? But the real price, I mean, again, this is more re-release, which is why I plan to not really even open it or do like a video on it the first time. The real prize of today's video is the Majin Vegeta. Now, when they initially revealed this a couple months ago, I was super excited about it. But the only thing that always hurts me is when they reveal these Tamashii figures is the fact that you know you're going to have to wait a very, very long time for it to come out. I think we waited, I want to say, 6 to 8 months since they first shown this off. And in fact, to show you how much they've actually stepped up the game in releasing figures a lot sooner, they just revealed a Spirit, Sword of Hope, Trunks. Sword of Hope, Rage Trunks, about, I want to say, last couple days ago, and they released it for or they scheduled it for a release later, I think in October or November. So they definitely stepped it up, but that's still like 6 to 7, 4, 5 months, actually a lot less of waiting, which sucks. But this, we have to wait a long time. So here's the back of the box. You know, you got the atomic blast, you got the pose he did when he blew up half the stadium on the tournament, and of course here's some close-ups of his face. And of course, this one, if you play Dokkan, you recognize this pose. This is the same pose he had in the tech version of the card. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open and see what we got. Now, the only complaint I have about this, and it's not really even that much of a complaint, is the fact that they pretty much reused the last Super Saiyan Vegeta's head for this. That's about it. Everything else seems pretty original. As far as hands, you get the atomic blast fingers, you got the open palms, which they always include with Vegeta. You don't have a final flash pose, which is interesting. I mean, granted, we never really seen Majin Vegeta do final flash. It's still kind of a thing that they always included with the Vegeta ones. Like, I thought these hands right here. Instead, you just kind of get the open palm ones like this, and then you get the pose before he fights against Goku over here. But as far as heads, you got the smirk when he was obviously talking to Goku, talking about how he let himself get taken over. You got another smirk with the mouth closed, and then he has kind of like the angry, I'm fighting Goku face. Now, as far as what I said, it's basically a reuse of the Vegeta head that they released a while ago, which I don't think is that big of a deal. But I feel like, you know, because again, this is the exact same head. It's not the same. It's not fully the same head, basically. It's a similar mold, but kind of a Majin Vegeta twist. Obviously, you got the M on the head, which is not the same head. But it feels so much like that same head that, like, maybe as a fan of these figures, you might not really enjoy it as much because you want it to be more unique. And some might say it's lazy, but honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think me and Nano were talking about it, that, you know, it's the same head. I personally don't really care, but it's something that I want to point out because I know it's been a critique that's popped up before. Again, as always, the articulation with these figures are amazing. You can do your favorite poses as you want, you know. In fact, what's the pose you're going to do for this one if you end up getting this? Let me know in the comment section below. But it is quality. I think this is easily my favorite Vegeta figure that they've done so far. I mean, prior to this, my favorite one definitely was the Super Vegeta one, which they released a year ago now, actually, I want to say. The figures prior to that were pretty bad. The Blue Vegeta was awful because it used the original mold, which wasn't that great. On top of that, the head just, the shine on the blue just didn't really feel that right. And then the previous one was the original Super Saiyan Vegeta, as well as the re-release of that, which were also awful. I mean, the head looked like macaroni and cheese. But this looks solid. I love the fact that they added the details of the veins, which is like a big, you know, thing about a big feature that Majin Vegeta had, and the fact that they also included some of his iconic stuff, like the finger for Atomic Blast. So let me go ahead and pop this bad boy off real fast so I can show you, because I'm sure someone's going to want to see it. Let's actually pop his face off too and get him the right face. How about this one over here? We'll do this one. Oh my god, horror! Again, it's pretty simple. You just pop the face off and then pop it back on, and ta-da, that's all you gotta do. Pretty simple, even though I can't see. Let's do this the right way where we can see. There we go. There we go, and we're good to go. It is solid, man. I gotta say, like, As a fan of Majin Vegeta, out of all the forms that we've seen with Vegeta in the series, this one by far has always been my most favorite. So the fact that they actually brought this out as a figure super excites me. It was an immediate buy. Now this one is not coming out yet. I want to say, I think the release date for this officially is going to be later this month, or if not next month for the US release. Because I know like whenever they release these figures, they always come out in Japan first, and then they ship them out across the world like a month later. If you want to pick this up right now, it's going to be a little bit expensive just due to the fact that you have to order it from Japan on eBay like I did, and also pay extra for shipping costs and stuff. But this figure is, I'm telling you, it's solid, especially a fan of Majin Vegeta. I mean, just look at it. Look at it. Look at the beauty of it. Like I said, originally I didn't plan on making an unboxing video for the Frieza, and I wasn't going to do one for the Vegeta as well. But I figured, you know what? Let's just kind of put them together into one quick video and show off like what I think about it. Again, I don't really have to go too much details of what they do, because I mean, you've seen Tamashii figures so many times now on my channel to the point where you know what to expect. But like, these two definitely are beautiful, especially that one. So with that said, let's actually zoom into his face real fast. With that said, let me know your thoughts. Would you rather get the Frieza figure or the Vegeta figure, and why? And of course, if you want to see more figure openings, make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video as well. Let's go for 2,000 likes in this one if you made it this far. And I guess the next figure that comes out over the course of the next couple weeks, if you guys want, I'll do another opening review as well. But other than that, again, if you want to get either of these figures, the best place I recommend is definitely on eBay. My rule of thumb for these always is also to, actually, I didn't think about this. There's a little bootleg atomic blast right there. My rule of thumb for these figures is always if I order these from Japan on eBay, I always make sure it says Japan, because a lot of times if it says like other locations that don't make sense, it might be a bootleg. But again, the best way you can always figure out that if these figures are authentic is they always have the Toei sticker on the bottom. If you see a SH Figuarts box without the sticker, it's most likely fake, so keep an eye out for that, because you don't want to spend, you know, Tamashii Figuarts money and then get the fake thing in the end. It'd be kind of annoying. But with these specifically, if you go to eBay and you see it's located in Japan, by all means, go for it. Sometimes you find locations that say US, just because people do sometimes tend to import them and then sell them as well. But just kind of keep an eye out for the locations where you get them from if you decide to buy these from eBay and stuff. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here, and I guess turn it over to you guys again now in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys like better between Frieza and Majin Vegeta and why, and we'll take it from there. Hope you guys enjoyed us today. My name is Rhymestyle, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.